We're back for section 2.2 in Algebra 1. We're going to learn about addition of real numbers. Now, the book teaches this with the number line. For some of you, this is very easy to understand. Others of you are going to have a little bit of trouble with this, but I promise every one of you, the more you do it, you're going to get used to it, and it's going to start making sense, and you almost won't even have to think about it. All right? So I'm going to teach it without the number line, the way the book does, but then if my way doesn't make sense to you, study the book and see if thinking about it on the number line helps. Okay? So I'm going to just look at some of the problems. So what we're going to do, you're like, what does she mean that addition is going to be hard? I've been doing addition since 3rd grade, probably before that. You'll see what I mean. It's a little tricky because we're going to do it with negative numbers. All right, so we have negative 2 plus 5. Okay, so how do you do this? Well, the order of addition doesn't matter. So this is the same thing as 5 minus 2. And you know, 5 minus 2 is 3. So when I have an addition like this, I don't necessarily think of it in the order it is written. I just think 5 minus 2 is 3. Because you don't really have to follow the order there. Now, another way to think about it is that, and I will show you the number line way, that you're at negative 2 and you have to go 5 hops on the number line toward the positive direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if that's negative 2, that's negative 1. This is 0, 1, 2, 3. The answer is 3. The other thing is, if you're having a hard time with this, do it in your head, and then do it on your calculator, and check yourself on your calculator. That might help you having that input of pushing the calculator buttons, of it making more sense in your head. All right, let's try another one. See, 2 plus negative 6. Now, if you have this, it's the same thing as 2 minus 6. That plus parentheses negative, not really important. I like to look at it this way. Okay, so if I have $2 and I spend $6, I'm going to be overdrawn at my bank $4. The $2 I had, but I'm in the hole $4. Plus, your bank's going to give you a bounce fee on top of that. So really, you're probably going to be in the hole $34. But we won't worry about that right now. So, I think it helps kids to think about this with money, because we all like money, right? And we know what it's like to borrow money and to have money and to owe people money. Okay, we already did this one. Negative 3 plus 5. Negative 3 plus 5 plus minus 6. Okay, so this is the same thing as negative 3 plus 5 minus 6. So I started off owing you $3. I gave you 5, I had 5, so I paid you back and I had 2. But then I spent $6. So my 2 went away, and so let's write it down each step of the way. Okay, I owed you $3, but then I got 5, so I paid you off, and I had 2. Now I have $2, but I spent 6. How many in the hole am I? Negative 4. I'm in the hole 4 again. Worse off than I started with my negative 3. All right. Okay, so on page 73, it talks about the math properties and what their names are. The names aren't really that important. In Algebra 1, they'll be more important in geometry. In geometry, names are real important. But the commutative property is that the order doesn't matter in addition. So when they make me queen of math, we're going to change the names to what they are. The commutative property tells me nothing, but the order doesn't matter. That tells me everything. That B plus A plus B is the same as B plus A. 2 plus 3 is the same thing as 3 plus 2. They're all 5, right? So I kind of like the it doesn't matter property. The next one is the associative property. This is the it doesn't matter which one you do first property. A plus B plus C equals A plus B plus C. Okay? It doesn't matter if you add A and B first, then add C to them, or if you add B and C first, then add A to it. So it doesn't matter which one you do first property, otherwise known as the associative property. Or, see how they're associating? That one's a little easier to remember. The next one is the identity property, which is that the identity property of addition is that if you add 0 to anything, you still have that thing. See, these aren't hard, are they? And then the inverse property is just the opposite property. The opposite of A is negative A. The opposite, yeah, that'll do for that. Now there's also an identity property of multiplication, and that's if you multiply anything times 1, you get that thing. So with adding, you add 0, you get that thing. But if you multiply anything by 1, you get it. You get it back. Okay? Alright, look at the bottom of page 73. We have them doing some fancy adding with decimals and fractions. When you have stuff like that to do in algebra, I really want you to use your calculator, because your calculator is not going to mess up. You're going to be more likely to get the right answer. In reality, when people are doing decimal addition with money or anything like that, they usually use the calculator. So it's something would be better to do. Now the second one that has fractions. So let me show you how to do fractions on this TI-84 calculator. Okay, there's more than one way to do it, but first turn it on, then you can hit this button that says clear. See where my finger is? That'll clean your screen up if you've got stuff on it like me. Then go to this button that says alpha and press it, and then go to this button that says y equals and press it. And a little gray square will pop up with number 1 being N/D. That stands for numerator over denominator, and just hit enter or 1 and it will select it, and then you get on your calculator this. And that's where you can put in a number that is a fraction. So in your book, the first number they want us to put in is -1/2. The negative button is right here on the bottom, so do -1. Use your arrow down key right there to get to the denominator and put a 2 down there. And it should say -1/2. Use the arrow over to get out of denominator land. And now we can say on our calculator +3. We're putting this problem in, and then +1/2 again. So then hit plus, do alpha y equals, hit 1 or enter, and now we can put in regular 1/2. 1 over 2, arrow over to get out of denominator land, hit enter, and the answer is 3. So I want you to learn how to do that on your calculator. Everybody pause the video if you need to, and make sure you can do that on your calculator. The next thing we're supposed to do in the book is do some word problems. I feel like I don't know quite enough math to do the word problems yet, and I think it might frustrate you, and I want you to love math. Math is fun. So we're not going to do the word problems yet. We're going to wait. We're going to do word problems. Oh yes, yes we are. We will have that fun, but just not yet, because we don't want to frustrate you. All right, next idea. Let's see. Okay, and then example 5 in your book, page 74, is just showing you that you can add these decimal things up and subtract them using your calculator. I want everybody to use your calculator. Practice example 5 and make sure you can get the answer on your calculator that they have, because this calculator is super important. You've got to learn how to use it. This is going to be the key to you doing awesome in college math. And it's not intuitive, but it's the one they let you use. So the better you get at it, the better you're going to do. And this can just save your hiney so many times if you're really good at the calculator. So that's one of my goals, is for every one of you to be calculator wizards. Not pinball wizards like the Who said, but calculator wizards. All right, that's it for section 2.2. Math is fun, and I'll see you for 2.3.